All right. All right, got that. Make another tab. Sorry, guys. Trying to get my shit set up. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you betcha. Do. Cool. Ka-choo. Nathan, what's up, my dude? How you doing, my friend? What's up, my guy? Yeah, we're gonna play a quick few Blitz games. I think I have my chess lesson tonight, so let's see if we can't get back up to 900. I feel bad because yesterday we dropped below, but we'll try and gain back some of this rating. Try and gain back some of the rating. Thanks, man. I think we can too. Alright, can't take the pawn, which is obnoxious, but it is what it is. I hate playing against this opening. So he's gonna push probably. He is gonna push. I need to get better at the Dragon Sicilian. My chess has been so poor here recently. So poor. Really got to tighten up. It's mostly because I'm like learning new openings, and I'm at a point now where I feel like I'm confused all the time. Ugh. Man. Can I mod? What do you mean? My boy is from Georgia. Georgia. I don't know what my opponent's going to play. I was assuming he was going to push, but he might not do that now. I was assuming he was going to push the pawn. Yeah. Yeah, today's stream is going to be short and sweet, but it'll be fun. We'll have a good time. We gonna gain some elo. How's everyone's day going? What'd you guys do all day? Talk to me. What'd you do all day? That's a whack move. I'm gonna castle. He's gonna castle. He did not castle, so he probably wants to do something. Stop me from doing this, which is fair. So can't really do that. If he had put his bishop here, I would have a little tactic where I can fork pieces, but he didn't. So we're alive. Alright, so my guy is trying to put the queen here to you know, basically try and win my bishop, which is definitely a move. That's a fork, so we can't do that. It'd be really cool to be able to win this right now. But I don't really see a good way to do that. Kind of like this move, but then he just pushes. So that doesn't work. We'll just develop the bishop for right now. He's going to put his queen here. Yep. And I can't do this at the moment. I mean, can I just play this move? I'm gonna do it. He's probably gonna push. All right. So he's a bona fide baby. Bona fide baby. So if I jump my knight into here, which is kind of like my main move right now, he takes, I take. I mean, it gets annoying. I don't know. We'll figure it out. He seems like he knows what he's doing, so. I don't know where his knight goes. I mean, I guess he can go back here. Bring the rook to the file. Good idea for sure. His knight is under attack. So what is his idea here? He wants to win this? I mean, I can defend it. What is he going to do? That? If I do this, he's trying to take this pawn, which I guess I don't really care about. If I do this and he takes, then this is here forever, so. I am gonna try and break open everything a little bit because this is gonna be a little chaotic if I don't. So if he just takes that, I'll gladly take here. I think. If he takes, I can take with the bishop, I can take with the rook. Take with the pawn. I got a bunch of options there. If he takes and I take with the pawn, he's going to take this. I could win another tempo doing that. I like f6. f6. Knight takes e5. F takes e5. Knight takes e5. You mean knight takes e4? How's everyone doing today? How are we feeling? So if I do this, what is he gonna try and take that? Is that what he wants to do? 'Cause that's what it seems like. That's what he wants to do. I can just slide the king over, I guess. He's still got this going on. Still got this going on. All right. We're up on time. What's up, Nikki? How you doing, man? Yeah, I'll have to give up the exchange, but it is what it is. I didn't really have a better option there, so if I did this, you know, I still have to take, and it's check. I mean, maybe it's not as bad, but this is a 865 rated player for some fucking reason, so. I'm about to get gangbanged, though. He's gonna crush me. I mean, this makes him trade off the queen and everything else. This, he does this, I take. I like this because I'm threatening to win his bishop, so I'm gonna try it. So I need a more solid threat than what I'm putting up right now. Need a more solid threat. So if I take here, that doesn't work. If I put the knight here, he's just gonna take, so that doesn't work either. If I take, he's gonna take. If I do this, he's gonna take. Not as fun as I wanted. Yeah. I don't know if I do got it. Taking is not what I want to do, it doesn't look like. Maybe it is. I've tripled pawns on my file. Yeah, but this doesn't stop what I'm trying to, like, you're, like, yeah, okay, my knight can go to e7, but, like, what the fuck am I gonna do there? I don't think you're seeing the bigger picture there. I mean, I guess it works. Just to move the knight, right? God damn it, man. I have to take, I guess. He's gonna take with the bishop. Get his bishop back out. Shit sucks, man. You can take a pawn. I'm just gonna get as big and bad as I can. I can take next move if I want to. So this dude's a big baby, basically. That was cool. Alright, I can just go back, I guess. Let's see, what do we want to do? "22 seconds. Gotta finish this pony off. Let's see. Dude's playing well. Just gonna get my queen in, I guess. I don't know what I'm doing. I'll take the rook. Alright, that was cool. We got a win. We got one. We got one. Yeah, buddy! Ah! It was mostly because he hung his queen, because I was getting out freaking played, my guys. But he kind of folded there at the end. Maybe his computer turned off. Let's see what happened here. So this was a mistake. Best move was for him to push. We missed an opportunity here. Taking the pawn was by far the better option. Not allowing this. Yeah, that was a mistake. And we capitalized on it. This is all missed opportunities. But it's mate and 4. I missed it. So the mate is bringing the queen back. King has to go here. Then we have this. And that'd be it. So I missed that too, but low time throw you in those kind of situations, so that's how it is. All right, let's get another one in. Let's get another one. Let's do it. Got to get back to that 900 elo. Got to get back. Got to get back. Got to. We got to. We just got to. Oh man. I am tired. Been a long day. Fun day. Not a bad day. Just long. Alright. Trying the Dragon Sicilian again. All I play is this. This is all anyone ever plays against me now. I should be getting good at this. I should be getting good. So, defends. I got into quite the predicament last game. Possibly I don't want to allow that again, but maybe it's not the worst thing in the world. I'm going to develop this knight first this time. Got some new friend requests. Cool, cool. Let's see. Hopefully we don't end up in like the predicament I was in last game where I get forked and trying to trap his bishop and it's not really working. I don't want to do that again. I would like to proceed with some caution. I don't know why the camera's all foggy. Sorry. Is it better? Yeah, there we go. There we go. So, got our opponent thinking right away. I love that. I love that. So I just play e6 here almost every time now. All right, so takes. Yeah, I mean, we'll just go about it like that. Obviously, he's probably going to take back this way. He takes back with the bishop. I'll just take. I mean, I can just bring a knight down. I'm not really worried about that. I'd rather not trade off my bishop, but it would be something. Yeah, you're right. I agree. Kind of why I went with the decision, because I convinced myself that I am just developing, so maybe it's fine. I kind of want to do this, but kind of not. I guess it's just a faster way to castle, maybe, but we'll do it like this, and I'll castle instead of fianchettoing. It's more of an efficient use of tempo. I agree. I think I agree with that. So definitely want to bring a rook to the file. That would be ideal. Not really sure what he wants to play, but I ain't scared. I don't like my queen on this light square, though. I wish she was on a dark square. Not sure what this is doing. What is he doing? I have no idea. So I wanted to bring this rook over, but I'll probably just bring this rook over. I don't know what this queen move did. Maybe it was necessary. I don't know. I mean, I can just move the knight if I want to. Could also make a bigger threat, which I'll probably do. I started playing chess last August, or like the end of August, like early September. So close to a year. Close. A few months away. What about you? When did you guys start playing chess? I think this is a pretty solid move right here. Rook to c4. Okay. Still not sure what my opponent really wants out of all this. If I do this, he takes. We don't want that. Could do this, which is kind of annoying for him. Could do this, which maybe is more annoying. Kind of like this knight being the one that does it. Where does he go then? Here? So if I do this and he goes here, what do I do? Bring my queen in? I don't know, I'll try it. It's a blitz game. It's for fun. Yeah, and blitz I am. I play rapid every day, so I'm 1300 in rapid, but regardless of what I am, it's not for you to fucking laugh or do anything about. Like, I don't care. My rating is my rating, and it should mean nothing to you as far as, like, trying to make fun of me about my rating. You can go to hell with that, so. Definitely do not approve of trying to mock me on my rating. Anyone that does mock people about ratings usually has, you know, just beta energy in real life, so. You might be a beta male. I'm not really sure, but I try not to judge that way, but if you're gonna laugh at me about my chess rating, it's a pretty big indicator that you might be. Let's see. If I bring the queen in, what am I doing? He's gonna do this. Yeah, it takes time to get good, so. I love you too, guys. I love hanging out with y'all. It always just takes one little turd monkey. Thank you. As long as you don't care about my rating, that makes me happy. Don't laugh at me just because your rating's better than mine or something. It's just a game, so. A lot of people take this shit like it's like, you know, you gotta be, you know, the best. It's not Pokemon. I want to play this move. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Take with the pawn, probably. Yeah, I'm gonna take with the pawn. It is about fun. No, it's all good. All good. Why do you want to know my PC specs? I guess that's what you mean. My PC sucks, probably. I have, like, the cheapest setup ever. I'm so poor. I'm a poor man. Poor man. All right. All right. I don't know where I want my queen. I don't know how. I randomly just started getting more and more viewers, but it was just being consistent. Basically, is all I did. Oh yeah, I had a friend that I know that makes he's got a system basically, or of like I guess he builds computers is a better way to say it. All right. Opponent is being a butt. We're gonna win. We're gonna win, you hear me? Alright, we won on time. Felt like we were kind of playing pretty well. That was alright. Wasn't too bad. Man, time is flying. We were killing it, guys. Rooking the game better. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, fellas.
Alright, my dude plays C6. What? I have quite a few hats. I like fedoras, obviously. You can tell that. Big fedora guy. So my friend is playing El Noteboom against me. Sort of. And now it's a Slav defense. So I kind of like bringing the knight out. I'm attacking all sorts of things. And this is just a dope square for my knight. Yeah, I got a lot of hats. A lot of snapbacks and like just regular ball caps and stuff, but I got maybe like 4 to 5 fedoras. Something like that. So I want to just take the damn pawn, but he's not being that cool about this. So I'm gonna bring the knight to a cool outpost, threaten a pawn. He might just push, but yeah, I'm 899. Yeah, I mean my rapid rating is a bit higher. I'm 1300 in rapid, but Blitz, man, I have trouble. I've been over 900 a few times, but I have trouble staying over 900, especially on stream. I don't really get offended very fast. I just didn't like how you said that. If you just watch how you talk sometimes, you know, you could probably curb how people, like, react to what you say. So you just kind of, you know, sounded pretty aggressive. So stand up for myself. I don't know you, and you don't know me, so. I grew up in the South. We definitely don't. We're nice to everybody, but we ain't gonna let people walk all over us. So. I like being nice to everybody. I think everyone should treat people how you want to be treated. Is pretty much my motto on life. And I think if you prescribe to that, you'll have more friends. Life will be fun. Yeah, and I don't know what I'm doing here, but I want to probably move El Bishopo over here. I don't know. Is he trying to do this? Because that's what he looks like he wants to do. He's going to bring a rook here now. It's probably what is going to happen. But I'll just move my king, because I didn't want it on the file anyways. Yeah, it's hot now. It's summertime, dude. I like going to northern states in the summer because it feels nice, like going to visit like New York or Pennsylvania. Like it's like beautiful weather there this time of year. But here in old Virginia, it is hot, boy. It is hot, uncomfortably hot. I don't know what I'm doing. I need to be developing. I'm like not developing. I don't know why I'm not developing, but that's okay. Yeah, it's like 100. It at least feels like 100 degrees in Virginia all the time. It's always so humid. But I had an ex-girlfriend whose father lived in Georgia, and we went to visit him one time and in the summer, and it was pretty hot. It was pretty hot. He lived like close to the Alabama Georgia line or whatever. But other than that, I've only really driven through Georgia to go to Florida or something. Where does he want to go? Here? I don't know where I want my knight. I kind of want my knight where my king is, but yeah, I don't know what your problem is, dude. You can just chill out. How about that? Eventually, I'm gonna get mods on here, and I won't have to have whiners in here and stuff like that. I don't really know what that is, but if you're enjoying and you're still watching, just be cool, dog. That's all you gotta do. If you have friends and they are down with you talking to them like that, that's you, dog. That's you. That's you, you know. Surround yourself with whoever you want to surround yourself. I don't care. But, mother bitch, dude. I fell right into this. Fuck, man. Why did I do that? Damn it, man. Lose the whole rook. Lose the whole rook. Damn it. That one was tough. Oh, you're in Texas? That's cool. I love seeing where people are from, man. Like, I get people from all around the world. I love that shit. Texas, man. I would love to go visit Texas one day. I've never been out west or anything, so. Dude, the bug. That's what I don't like about summertime is bugs. I could go the rest of my life and not see a mosquito again. That would be great, but. Queen's Gambit accepted. Let's see if I can do this a bit better than I did last time. I haven't gotten my knight out. What, is he gonna push the pawn now? Maybe I should have taken and then done this. Yeah, I hate mosquitoes, dog. They are not fun. Not fun. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see. So, he might push. I don't really want him to do that. I'm gonna stop messing around with this dude. This guy is from Bolivia. That's a cool place. I feel like they actually serve no purpose in nature. Yeah, I guess they're just food for things like mosquitoes are. I don't think they have too much, like actual, you know, necessity, but I think they're just mostly food. So if I do this, he's gonna put his bishop here. Takes. I don't know. We'll see if I can't develop my bishop and win a pawn or get a pawn at the same time. So now I think I'm gonna win that pawn, maybe. He could play something completely different. At least get my pawn back, I mean. And we're pretty developed, so threatening the pawn and then castling. Kind of a silly move there, but that's okay. We'll just move El Nido. Yeah, mosquitoes are obnoxious, man. We have a lot of, what is it, cicadas this year? Or not cicadas. We have cicadas every year. What is the thing that hatches every, like, 15 years or something? Is it cicadas? I don't know. I think there was, like, new cicadas or something this year, and they're everywhere. So I'm going to get ready to get castled. Looks like he's going to get castled as well. So we've officially lost all of our queen pawns, but we're equal on pawns again. I'm going to castle. He's probably going to castle. I don't know. If he backs up, I'll just move the queen again. Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? How we doing? How we doing? I don't know where I want to move my queen. Do I move my queen forward? What am I worried about there? I don't know. I don't really want to be chased around a bunch, though. I'm gonna come back. Maybe throw this bishop over here. I need to castle. Hey, Daphne. I'm good. I'm glad you're feeling good. That's good. That's what I like to hear. It's another beautiful day in paradise. It's the closest to Friday it's been all week, so we're almost there. I love Fridays. I'm a big Friday fan. We'll castle. I feel a little more comfortable that I'm castled. So he's probably going to start trying to push stuffs. Game's going pretty good. Twitch say hi to YouTube. YouTube say hi to Twitch. Game is going pretty good. All right. So is the idea that I can't do this? Why can't I do this? Can't I? My bishop protects. Be cool to get this bishop out and about. Definitely don't really want to do that. If I take, he does this. What am I doing there? Does that work for me? I don't really want to trade. Nah, bro. He brings a rook here. Is that what I'm worried about? If I do something like this? Yeah, that wouldn't work. I'll take. I'm not scared of this dude. I ain't scared of you. Do I want this or do I want this? I don't know. If I do this, I could have some pressure down that file. I'm gonna develop my bishop in a way that I think gets it just in it to a better spot potentially. Thanks, Daphne. Yeah, I love chess. It's fun. I don't know why this dude wants to just trade everything. That's kind of ridiculous, but whatever. Does this do anything? Well, thank you. I'm glad you like it. That's good. Do I want to go here to try and win a pawn, or do I want to go here to try and win a rook? Like, what do I do? I guess he has this to defend, so maybe we'll just do this. And I can threaten to get the knight in. Well, I'm on stream right now. I don't really have time to look at anything right now, but maybe in the future. Also, don't earn enough money to be paying employees to be creative for me, so maybe one day in the future. But thank you, Daphne. I appreciate you jumping in and asking. Yeah, buddy. I think I missed a move, guys. I think here I could have done this, and I think I would have won a rook. Actually, no, because if I did this and he takes, I take. It's kind of equal. Never mind. I don't know. We can look at the game review afterwards. My Discord's in the description. It should be. Should be in the description. So I take this, he takes. I don't really like that. I don't want to do that. But he's also threatening my knight. Boom. What am I? I'll just take, I guess. I have no time, so. We'll take. Don't want to do that right now. Do want to do this, I guess. Make a love for the king. Survive. Survive! We got to survive. Yeah, rook c1. I'm glad you guys agree, because that is what I think as well. I don't know how he defends it. Oh, he just goes back. I guess that works. I can't do that right now. I gotta do something like this to give my king a breathing square. Gonna do this maybe. Black won on time. Damn it, man. I ran out of time, guys. Damn it. Thought I was doing all right. Computer says we're pretty equal. Yeah, there's probably multiple ways I could have won. I felt like that was kind of sloppy by me. European Union. What is the idea of that move? I don't know. I want to play like e6 and kind of do that, but we'll see. So if I go here, what is he going to do? Just push, takes. You can't do that, so we'll get the knight out. For sure, for sure, for sure. Bro about to get checkmated, probably. That's what I'm doing. I kind of like this move. It defends. It's creative. I think e6 is just better, though. I can still do this, maybe. What the fuck is he doing, man? You want to win a pawn? So I think I could just play d5 on the next move. He needs to drop his knight back. If I do this, what is he gonna do? Takes, you gotta move again. You gonna come here? You can't. Let's do it. Yeah, I need to get castled here next move or so. But queen is out and about. I feel like I should chase down the queen. Feel like I should chase down the queen. So he is attacking my pawn. I'm gonna play like this, get the bishop here, castle, and I'm gonna be chilling. He gonna castle queenside? Queenside? Bro, I hope you do. Alright, so he's attacking the pawn. I have it defended twice, he's attacking it twice. That's okay. This will allow me to stop defending. He's gonna castle probably. We're 800, 900 elo. I can only have so many problems. I got more problems than he can count on his hands and toes. Hey, thanks for the follow. Ugh. His rook will be there if that happens. It will be kind of scary. Does this trap his queen? Like if he castles and I do that, does it trap his queen? So if I do that, I think that traps his queen. I'm gonna do it. Because if he takes here, I can take that with check, so. I guess he could just do this. But then I'll take. No, that doesn't work. I think his queen is trapped. Hey, Chili. Oh, y'all, I gotta end this stream. This is my last game. I'm missing my chess lesson, guys.
Ah!
Alright, we're up a queen. Life should be good. I gotta play this game really fast, guys. I'm missing my chess lesson. You want to stream the lesson? I don't want to stream the lesson. I need to learn. I need to change the title. What do you mean change the title and we'll do it? I don't want to stream the lesson. Y'all want me to stream the lesson? I mean, we can. Oh my god. I don't have the scene set up. I'd have to turn off the stream anyways and kind of set it up because I don't have a, or do it while I'm on camera. It wouldn't be easy for me. Doing the NIMSO study today. Alright, maybe I'll try to do it. If y'all seem like you want to do something like that, maybe we can do that. Maybe we can do something. He was attacking my G-pawn, so I didn't really want to just, or I couldn't just castle. Yeah, if you guys want, maybe we can do something like that. I'm not 100% sure, but I'd be down if that's what y'all want to do, maybe. Now I'm thinking about coming in, because that's checkmate. Yeah, this is my chess coach, guys. TH Chili. He's awesome, man. He's a fantastic dude. I think you'll really enjoy his channel and his content, and he's a really smart guy. I believe he's rated 2100. I can't really remember. I know he's over 2000 for sure. He's a beast. But I've been doing like 9 or 10 chess lessons with him so far, and it's been helping me a lot. It's been really fun. All right, endgame. All right, cool. All right, Chili, I'm gonna have to, I'm probably gonna have to hop off to set it all up so that we can, I don't know if I can, do it on stream. Do you guys want me to take a minute and try and set this up on stream for you guys? Say in the chat. If y'all want to watch me do my chess lesson and y'all get a free chess lesson out of this, y'all let me know. And we'll do it live. Otherwise, I need to go. So, do y'all want to watch me get a chess lesson? You do? You vote yes? Okay. Well, there we go, Chili. Seems like we got some people that want the chess lesson. The people have spoken. Let's get on a call, my friend. That way you can talk with me while I'm trying to get set up. Oh, You there?
Hello.
Hey, there he is. Chili, what's up, dude?
How's it going?
Oh, not too bad, man. Everybody say hi to Chili. This is my coach.
Chat.
Let's turn up the volume a bit for everyone. Sweet. Sorry, dude. I'm so sorry. I'm an airhead.
No, it's not. You're good. You're good.
I also owe you some monies. Remind me by the end of today. I've been so busy, dude. And then when I start streaming, I'm just an airhead. So I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. It's no problem.
But
all good.
Remind me after stream. That way I can get you squared away.
Perfect, man.
I need to get this kind of set up like I can do lead chess on here. So let's do that. This might take me a minute.
Okay, no problem.
How do I duplicate? Done. All right. Hopefully this doesn't take me too long. How's your day been?
Day's been good, man.
It's been good?
How about your day?
Oh, not too bad, dude. I've been working like a dog. I'm tired. But
nice.
I was excited to, I don't know, I played some rapid games today and I completely failed. So I was like, all right, I'm just going to stream some Blitz. And I don't know why I've been spacing today, but I apologize again.
If you're playing good chess, it's all worth, right? You're playing a crushing game right now, so it's all good.
Well, that one was, but I'm glad you didn't see some of the other ones.
Came in at just the right time, eh?
Yep. So I'm going to try to fix this. Sorry, guys. Oh my god. This is hard. So on my Streamlabs, everything is so tiny. Like, because I'm like dual streaming. So like on my monitor, my monitor is like small anyways, but also it's just like, it's like microscopic on here, so it's hard to see. So getting my Twitch straight real quick. That one will be all right. This one, let's fix this. All right, that'll do for what it is. Let me just double check. Okay, cool. It didn't mess up my other scene. All right. Have you invited? Oh, there we go.
Just send you the invite. There you go.
Okay. And excuse me if I'm a little bit I'm gonna pay attention the best I can. Hopefully I'm not gonna get derailed by chat or anything. So, all right, guys, chess lesson in session. Clap.
Okay. Let's go then. Let's kick it off. Okay, so like we said, we're looking at all the openings and variations you can play as white in these d4 and c4 structures, and the Nimzo Indian is one of the most common. It's all these games, by the way, are from the book Zurich International 1953, and so if you look to the left, and I think the chat can see this as well, but all of the games here are from the Nimzo Indian. And you'll see that there's like draw, and then one win with white. And you'll say, well, this is a shit opening. Why am I gonna play this? But actually, it's just because it's just a warning here. Because the Nimzo Indian for white is known as a really good opening for white, and so the aim of this book, which I've got the games from, it's to just highlight the best games. So obviously the best games are going to be the games where black manages to confront the Nimzo Indian with success, because most times it gets really difficult. It's a very complex opening. So that's why most of the games are draws and losses, but still very solid opening ideas here from the games I've selected. And so this is the mainline theory. We go knight c3, and we're aiming to play e4, and then black goes bishop to b4, and the idea is to pin this knight, and now we can't play e4 ourselves, and there may be problems with knight e4 by black, sometimes adding more pressure to this knight on c3, which is pinned. And the way to play this opening is just to continue and actually just accept that they can go knight e4. Knight e4 isn't a good move straight away. They definitely can play it down the line, but now it's not a good move for them. So we just play with e3. We can't play e4, but we can play e3. And what e3 does is it solidifies this d4 pawn. And it may look a bit strange because we're locking our bishop in, but this is the nature of the position. We're going to lock this bishop in, and the position will be characterized by white struggles to kind of try and activate this bishop, and if they do this successfully, there will be a huge attack. So that's the idea. So e3, castles is very natural. Bishop d3, just following basic development. We want to play the knight, the bishop, and then get castled ourselves. d5, trying to claim some center. Knight f3, c5, and this is a very common idea. It may look weird to see your bishop not being able to retreat like this, but actually it's the best idea, because when you play the Nimzo Indian, your idea isn't to play the bishop retreating. Your idea is to trade the bishop for the knight like this, and leave white with this bad bishop. That's the idea. So you're never going to play the bishop back. You're always going to take this. So castles, knight c6, following standard development. And this is where you can force the bishop to trade. So they haven't traded yet on their own terms, but now we play a3. And now it's really forcing the question. Are you going to play bishop to a5, which is really strange? Or are you going to follow through with your ideas and take? Now in this game, there is takes, and then b6. And like I've mentioned in the past, white has these doubled pawns on the c-file, and they can become quite weak, these pawns on the c-file. So the basic idea is to play something like knight a5, bishop a6, and then target that c4 pawn. Both of these moves target that pawn, and that will be enough attackers to successfully capture the pawn on c4. And like I said, also previously, this position is also characterized by black attempting to find counterplay on the queen side and white going for a king side attack. And in this game, what happens is, I'm not sure what the comment here is in the book, but Keres plays a weird move here. Not a weird move in the sense that it's bad, but it's an interesting move because it's something that's never been seen before. And this is really cool. He plays knight e5, which looks insane because there are so many other good developing moves you can play. You can play against their idea of going bishop a6 and knight e5, but knight e5 is what he chooses to play. He's moving the same piece twice, and so now you need to find out what you need to do as a black. Well, first of all, your knight's hanging on c6, so you need to defend that, or you need to trade off on e5. Now, what happens in this game is Averbach plays bishop e7, simply defending this knight and not letting it hang. So this is hanging, and if you trade, what happens is it looks like we've kind of messed up our pawn structure because we get these pawns like this, but this pawn grabbed a lot of space for us. And notice as well that all of the light squares are available for our bishop on the king side. Every single light square is available, so we've got this very good bishop to work with. And by playing a move like pawn takes here, the knight's forced back. Okay, so knight's forced back, and notice that yes, our pawn's under attack, but we have many good ideas, one of them being this weakness on h7, because notice that there are no pieces defending these three pawns. You could say the rook's defending f7, but our main target now is to target the h7 pawn. So knight d7, we need to defend this pawn on e5, so we play f4 really aggressively and energetically. So one cool idea is to play stuff like queen h5 and immediately start attacking, and really there's not a good response, and all of the squares are available for the queen. Basically you can go queen f3, you can go queen g4 and start a big attack like this, but queen h5 would be the better move, and there's no real way to stop this. Basically, let's say you try and play something weird like queen h4, trying to stop her idea of queen to h5. This doesn't really work because yes, it does stop her idea, but the question here is, do you have enough time to actually implement this plan? And you'll see really quickly that it's not. Because, okay, when they play on one side of the board, you need to play on the center. That's the basic principle. So they're playing on this flank, and we play in the center with this move. C takes, we undouble our pawns, they have to take us, of course, and now we've got some cool ideas like, I don't know, let's say bishop b5, and then this is hit through discovery.
Yep.
And there's no real way to defend both of them, so you're actually losing a pawn here, and this should be really good for white. Let me just check the eval. Yeah, this is plus 2.2, so already a crushing position. And still, many good ideas, like let's say rook f3, and then rotating like this. And this is a very common idea. So this is a very common theme in these positions, which is the rook lift. So the rook lift is a must-know for this position. Yes, our bishop isn't very active for now, but at some point, I mean, this pawn is falling for starters. We're going to play takes, and then we can start moving these pawns forward and getting some more play. So the bishop will be active at some point. We've successfully managed to get a good bishop from this c1 bishop. Okay, so obviously this didn't happen in the game. They just play bishop e7 because they don't want to get into any of those complications. This is probably something that has been prepped out, and black wants to avoid any of this nonsense that white may throw at them. So they want to continue with their game plan, and if they're not going to move this knight away, what we can do is play f4 anyways, and kind of play for this this rook lift idea. And this move is very useful because it does two things at once. It supports this knight and enables the rook lift. So there's always multiple functions in one move. At the higher up you get, the better players are at actually doing this and finding multi-purpose moves. And let me just point out that the best line in this line, if they play knight takes c5, so would be take, knight back, and when we play f4, they should play something like d takes, because they're not going to allow us to take on c5 now, and we're kind of forced to take the bishop. This kind of gets the bishop off this diagonal, which means there's going to be another tempo being used to get back here. And play will continue from here. Probably bishop e7, now that the diagonal's opened up. Queen c2, queen c7. And yeah, this position has the idea of pushing b5 and c4. And notice that now that we've played this structure, look at these pawns. So all of these pawns are on dark squares, which makes our bishop bad. But not only this, it creates weaknesses on these squares. So these are now holes. And one question, have you been reading the book?
No, I have not. So it is on me at this point. I've had plenty of time, but I've been neglecting it. So I actually thought about it today. So you bringing it back up is good because I need to do that.
Nice. Yeah, the book is going to be kind of like a prerequisite for everything we're going to see today. Like, I'm going to explain it also, but everything that I'm talking about will be found in the book, like bishops versus knights, all sorts of endgame positions, and strategy involving pawns. And one of the strategies here is to actually make use of these weak squares, so b3 and d3, because it's a hole. So the idea is to create an outpost for this knight. And the way they're going to do this is to try and play something like this and this. And then there's a pawn defending these squares. So now a natural idea would be to play something like knight in and knight in. And that's a very powerful knight. So that's basically the idea here for black. And they're always going to go for counterplay on the queen side because, as you can see, it's the side where they have the majority. There's 3 on 2, which is a plus for black. And they don't have much space on the king side, so this doesn't make much sense. They have almost no space, actually. So this is their plan, basically, to try. And we can try and neutralize this. We don't have to play exclusively on the king side as well. We can play to kind of neutralize their ideas. So their idea was to play this, and we can stop this by playing a4. And now they don't have this push anymore. So basically, really, what does black have? What do you think?
Sorry, my screen was like lagging for a second. So here, black, we're talking about this Averbach game. We're looking at the pawns pushing right here is what you're talking about, right? Sorry, my screen lagged for a second.
Sorry, you're good. Okay, so their idea is to play b5 and c4 and try and create weaknesses here and jump a knight into one of these squares.
And we played a4.
We played a4.
Okay.
And now they can't do this.
Yeah.
So really, what does black have?
They don't have much. Their knight is straight up stuck unless they're gonna go for a long reroute. Their queen, I guess maybe they could play for like queen to c6 and build a battery, but the queen defends g2 right now, so
Yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't do anything. I guess getting a rook on the file for them wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, maybe, but
Yeah. And that's basically it. That's all they have. That's the only form of play they have. And notice that also, on top of that, all of these squares are defended. There's not a single square on this file which our pieces don't defend. Like this defends, this defends, this defends. So many defenses, it's insane. So there's no way you're going to play on this file. Which means that white is obviously better since black doesn't even have a plan to play towards. And that's the most important thing about chess, is you having a plan versus them not having a plan. That's the best way to win a chess game. So they have no plan. We have a very clear plan, which is to make our pieces good. And that looks like e4 and f5. Because by playing these two pawn pushes, this bishop will have scope and be able to participate in the attack. You can imagine like a queen being on g3 and then playing bishop h6. Is really good. And also if we play this move, this e4 f5 push, the second thing we get from this is we can actually bring our rook in. Right now we can't play this because the bishop sees this square. So the idea would be to play something like rook to f4, for example, and then get this across. Again, the idea of the rook lift being super important in this opening, so it's always going to be one of the top strategies and ideas to go for. And this is a classic example of the Nimzo Indian, because we're playing this on the king side as we should, and black really can't do anything on the queen side, which means we're probably going to win this game if we play precisely. So this doesn't happen. Sorry for taking so long on this. Bishop e7, f4 happens with this whole idea. Now knight a5, and I'll ask you again, what should we do now?
He's attacking my c4 pawn. You always say if he's gonna attack on flanks, attack in the center. I know that we've kind of looked at this before, and I think that taking the d5 pawn is what we do here.
Perfect, yeah, that's what happens in the game, and it's the best move. So you're playing like a grandmaster so far. And let me just show you what happens if you don't do this. So right now, it seems like we have enough defenders. We have 1-2 against 1-2, which seems sufficient, but actually there's a way that black can kind of swindle themselves into a good position here, which is, let's just say we play a nothing move like a4,
Bishop a6.
which is a mistake. Not even bishop a6, just immediately taking.
Oh.
So we take, and now this is the key move, queen c7. And this is always going to be a theme of the Nimzo Indian as well. The theme here is that whenever we take on c4, our bishop's going to be undefended. So they can make use of this and gain a tempo on us. Now we actually have to go back to avoid any discovered attacks after c takes d4. And in this time that we've done this, they're going to get a good position. So takes, and now we're playing this as black. We know that white wants a kingside attack. How can we fully stop this completely? Just completely shut out any ideas.
Well, black's bishop is doing a great job on b7. That's for sure.
Yep.
I guess maybe... because I can't do the rook lift right now, and I also can't bring my queen in to the king side because of his knight and his bishop. So I feel like they are well placed, but maybe just building up pressure, like moving a rook to the file. Is that as simple as we were looking there?
Not really, because as black here, we're trying to stop white's plans. And chess at the super high level, it's never going to be the case where an opponent misses the strategic plan that someone has. It's more like there was one tiny detail that they missed, and that leads to a very bad position. So here, when you're calculating and looking at this in, let's say, a classical game, we need to find your opponent's plans. So we even got this as the white side, so it's a bit easier to see. But what would be our plan here as white?
I mean, So all the ones we went over are kind of off the table right now, just as one moves. Like you can't move the rook, you can't move the queen over there to better their positions like that. I would probably want to somehow develop my bishop. I think maybe you could play like bishop a3.
Yep, that seems like a fine move. But how does that contribute to our major game plan, which is playing for the kingside attack?
I guess it doesn't. Other than it just kind of makes the rook need to move in the moment. So it's kind of just a one-move threat. And it does have pressure down the king's side. Like, I mean, that diagonal is a fantastic diagonal.
Yep.
So I like that it does that, and it makes the king not be able to escape, basically, I guess. But
plus the bishop is uncontested because they don't have a dark square bishop. They traded it off, which is really important because this bishop can become a superstar if given the right conditions. But I was thinking more along the lines of a move like, let's say, f5 would be really nice, trying to make these pawns a bit weaker. Like you can imagine after take, bishop takes with check, that's really good for us.
Yeah.
And with f5, maybe ideas of rook to f4, move over and start attacking like this. So this is a very nice idea. So basically now that black has identified the plan that white's going to go for, black needs to try and find a way to stop that. And a very nice move here is bishop e4.
Yeah, I see that.
And you kill the mobility of every single pawn. There's not a single pawn in this position of whites that can move. And funny enough, the engine recommends something crazy. The engine line says just fully sacrifice a pawn with d5 just to get this bishop over here. That's basically it. We're sacking a pawn, no scene compensation. This is very defendable for black. And I mean, it just sucks as a position here for white. So this is the sort of counterplay that black would like to go for. So we couldn't allow him to play on the side here, and we can really be heavily punished for this. So it's important to know that, like you said, when they play on that side of the board, we play in the center, which is why they play c takes d5. Now we can play either pawn takes, knight takes, and queen takes, and the chosen move is queen takes just because we're lining up this battery here, and we're threatening checkmate, so we have to defend this. Otherwise, we're just losing immediately. And we have queen e2. Developing and defending, again, multi-purpose. It's very important to squeeze as much efficiency from our moves that we can. So queen e2. And now take. And we're left with this structure here. We do find somewhat of a better square here for our bishop, but it doesn't really matter. Let me just show you what happens if you play c takes. If we play c takes, then knight e4. And again, this same idea of not being able to push our pawns. Basically, no pawn can push. Their queen is stopping us from pushing d5. The knight stops e4. And if we try and play f5, we get kicked out like this. Knight moves, and we lose a pawn. So it's really, really nasty, this blockade that black can set up, which is why we play e takes, to stop this idea. And now our queen can see this square, so there's really not any ideas of knight e4 anymore. Okay, but unfortunately this falls into knight d3. Yeah. Which, I mean, okay, we're hitting a rook and we're hitting the bishop on c1. Is it bad that we're losing this bishop on c1? Not extremely bad, because all of our pawns are on dark squares, so this bishop isn't really that useful now, but it will become a major asset the longer the game goes on. So we don't want to trade off the bishop if we don't have to. So this happens, which is an imprecision. There was actually an amazing resource here for white. So maybe someone in chat can get this. It's a bit high level, but
yeah, I don't know what I would play. I mean, I would have moved the rook, right? Like, that would have been the move I played immediately, rook b1. I guess I would have maybe contemplated playing rook to a2, but that doesn't feel amazing, like, either. Maybe it is.
The point is, either way, either square we move our rook, we're losing our bishop on c1, which isn't really that nice. And he's trading the knight off, which is really bad, because it's just stuck on the rim. and now it's going to be non-existent, and we're going to lose a bishop, which is a huge asset in our attack. So
What if
that's
you
not
play
really fun.
C4? Is that too much?
Ah, that's along the right lines. The
Okay.
problem with c4 is we hang this pawn, so that really can't be done.
Yep. Okay, I see.
But, however, we can play bishop c4.
Oh, that is super crazy.
Yeah,
'cause you
it gets
can't
really
take with the
crazy.
queen. Yeah, that's cool. All right, that makes sense.
Okay, so let's just say they try and take, counter-attacking our queen. Okay, we just take. Queen goes back, f5. And again, we have ideas of moving up. We can use this pawn here to attack this and make a weakness on e6, which we can target. Both our pieces are already targeting. Our knight's already blockading, which is really good. And it's just an excellent position here. So that would be really good. Unfortunately, this was missed in the game, and he plays rook b1. It is a crazy move to see, that bishop c4 idea. It did require some calculation, but
Yeah, Muhammad and chat got it. Good job, Muhammad.
Nice one. Okay, so bishop takes knight takes c1, rook takes, rook ac1, and now there's a threat that black has created. Black is threatening to play rook takes c3, and you're thinking, well, it's defended. Actually, it's not, because after, let's just say a nothing move, h3, this is what's going to happen. Take, and then check.
Yeah, anyone's the rook. Back.
Double attack, which isn't really good.
2 pawns and a rook.
And yeah, all of this is possible because we lost that c1 bishop. So we're kind of forced to defend with our queen, like this, which again isn't great. The queen will start getting overloaded. Like you can see, there's still this whole threat. So if the queen ever moves to any other, any other file or column or line, I don't know what it's called. But anyways, if it moves away from the 2 number, oh my god, I can't even speak today. But you get the idea. Okay. Anyways,
We'll call it a row.
You can't. Yeah, a row. That's perfect. Okay. So queen b2, queen d6 happens. Finally, we're starting to get some counterplay with f5. He takes, bishop takes, hitting the rook, forcing the rook to move away. And this is a very natural square, because what you want to do here as a black is you want to target weak pawns. And the weakest pawn here for white is this pawn here, because it's a backwards pawn. So now that there's this clear idea that black wants, again, it plays off this idea that you see your opponent's strategies and you play against that. So you see that this is a weak pawn, you try and make it not weak, like this. This is too ambitious though. So really this game should have been a draw, but I think this is the start of the turning point where white starts losing this game. I mean, this is a perfectly solid position. So this loss and the other loss that we have in these Nimzo Indian games, it's mainly because white was too ambitious, basically. But it's a very solid setup that you can rely on. So don't expect this to be like, oh, white's just going to get crushed because I saw this in the game. That's not the case. So c4, which is too ambitious, rook d8, and now we've got 2 rooks lined up against both pawns, which is not good. And notice that both pawns have no mobility. If you push this forwards, this is weak. If you push this, we're just trading. And yeah, this is not good for us as white. So rook f4, trying to invest in the plans, and this is where this would be a good move, okay? It has a mistake, but it's only really a mistake because black has an amazing resource. So again, what should black do here?
I mean, you can't take, I guess they can't take the pawn. Can they take the pawn? I was thinking a knight move to attack the rook, but I think that's just not what we're looking for here. If they take on c4, you can't take on c4.
Yeah, because of rook takes.
Yeah. If they play, yeah, I was really thinking a knight move, but now I'm not so sure. If they yeah, knight d5 doesn't look like it does anything. That's just losing the piece, I think. Knight h5 attacks the rook and would make him need to go somewhere, but the rook might be comfortable on h4.
Yeah, and if you play knight h5, you're just helping white just fulfill their plan, which is to go h4 anyways.
Yeah.
So the best way to go about this and finding the move, it's actually really intuitive once you get this mindset right, which is looking at what the move does. So what does this move do? It prepares to go here, and it also defends this pawn laterally. So what we want to do is try and find a way to counter this. So how can we actually misplace this rook in a way where it doesn't defend this?
Well, hold on. I mean, pushing a pawn would you know, you can kick it out that way. Because he can't move he'd have to move the rook off of the fourth rank. Or yeah.
What would that look like more or less if you try and push a pawn?
Would you have to play g5 to do it?
Yep. G5 is the move, and it may look extremely weakening to play this G5 move. It's an insane move, but the reason it works is this is only weakening if white has a way to attack and like completely dominate the game from there. Unfortunately, when this rook moves, what's going to happen regardless of where the rook moves, so they move rook f2, the problem is we are taking here as black. And we're forcing a queen trade. And once the queens come off, there is no attacking possibility for white anymore. So take, they're forced a queen trade, and they're just up a pawn. Black has just won a pawn cleanly, and we can always support this pawn with h6, stuff like this. It's really well protected.
Yeah,
not really much.
Now, so it feels more justified now, right? To have a space around your king, like you can get your king in.
So they're just going to try. I'm going to skip through this a bit faster because it's not really that interesting anymore. All the instructive part has just flown out the window, and white's just worse, basically. Unfortunately, they're trying to play some counterplay. It's not going to happen. Look at this bishop a6 idea. A classical idea in the Nimzo Indian, which would generally be played in the middle game, now being played in an end game, which is the power of these ideas. And now, yeah, everything is going to get attacked. A few more moves, and it's going to become unbearable.
Yeah.
Like, this is attacked. Now, take. The bishop's attacked. Check. Check. And then you can resign here. Because you have to play king takes. Once you do, bishop check. Discovered attack. Sorry, skewer attack.
Yep. Yeah.
Really nasty game.
Yeah, that's dirty. Dirty.
Now let's look at something a bit more interesting for us as white, because that was just white being crushed. Now let's look at a game where white gets more chances. So we get the same structure basically, the first simple moves. Again, we're playing e3, this is very common. And we get the same position, literally the same position with knight c6, and the move is always going to be to play a3. So we get this whole progression. b6 with this plan, again, of going bishop a6 and knight a5. This is a very common strategy. And what we're going to do differently this time, we're not going to go knight e5. Okay, how about we just trade off the pawn? Take. Because now what happens is we don't have a doubled pawn to target, basically. And this is a very funny case of two pawns which can never interact with each other, which is why I had this highlighted. So if we play takes, like this, what's going to happen is we get these really ugly pawns. And there's not much to do with these pawns. So white doesn't want to take. It would look more or less like this. And then you have to play some weird way to get the bishop open. So c4 to open up this diagonal. It's really not good. And black doesn't even have to respond. You can just play with the counterplay. So rook to the open file was really good. And now, yeah, white's a lot worse. So this isn't possible. And if you play takes like this, it's also not good. So let's just say, again, a nothing move. Let's say a4. Take, and bishop g4. Okay, so the bishop's developed, and the main problem here for black is this d pawn, because it's isolated. So this is a weakness that white will and should target. So that's not very good for black, because now you're going to be stuck defending a pawn which is isolated. not many attacking possibilities here, even if you're playing an aggressive playstyle with this bishop g4 idea. So it doesn't really match, it doesn't mix. The two don't go together. So that's not good for them. So these pawns, again, like I said, can never interact properly. It's kind of like a matter of who's going to take first, and I'm going to just recapture. Playing off that principle, which is never relieve tension. You should keep the tension for as long as possible, specifically for this reason, and especially with pawns, by the way. So e takes d5, bishop b2, and what we're doing with this move is we're trying to activate the bishop like this. So this is the diagonal we've placed the bishop, and it's now been committed to this diagonal. And we're going to play some moves to try and open this up. So what black does here is he closes this down. What do you feel about this move, c4 by black? Good or bad?
I think that he overextended. But that's just my thought. I only say that because when I used to play the London, I was hoping they would play c4, and I think it's maybe the same concept here. It's hard to defend the pawns now.
It's really interesting you say that about the London, because look at this pawn pyramid. It's literally the same pawn structure, right?
I noticed, My bishop's on the wrong side of the wall, but yeah.
And when we get this overextension by black, generally we'd like to play b3, which we don't have available because we traded the pawn off. But there's a secondary plan which you can play for, which is to play e4 and break this pawn at the base, which is this d5 square. If this happens, this pawn is as good as dead. It's just not going to exist. Like, you can count on that. So this is the main goal here. And also notice, if we manage to play e4, we've liberated two diagonals here for this bishop and for this bishop. So we fully get both bishops activated. So this is the main goal now, to play for e4. So bishop g4, pinning. Many people may be tempted to play h3. What happens in this game is queen e1, accepting the doubled pawns. Now, the question for black is, should you take? And really,
I would say no, because the g file opens up, and then you're just getting, I don't know. To me, it looks scary whenever the g file opens up. So
exactly.
And the king is safe on h1, right? Like, pretty safe, like when that happens, or on h2. Maybe.
Exactly, and there's a secondary plan here, or idea behind this, which is if you play takes, now this g pawn is going to become an f pawn, and once it does, this pawn supports your e4 push, because now you can play this push, take, take. You have a beautiful center. You're going to play e5. You're going to get two bishops opened up. You're going to have the rook on the g file. It's just so much counterplay that it's really not even a weakness that you've opened up the g-file. You can stick your king on h1 and be completely safe. So let's try and attack this for black. Knight h5, so try and get the queen in. e4. Knight f4, okay. No worries. We've got the e4 pawn moving, so we're all good. King h1. Let's just say queen h4. Yeah, it's not going to happen, bud. Bishop to c1. And you're dead. If you try and play this, we're okay with trading this off, because look at this weak pawn now. Again, no way of defending this pawn. If you try and get your knight to defend, there's no legal squares. Actually, they're legal, but they're just losing, right? So that's not a good idea. And we're just going to play queen e3 and pick up a pawn. And be happy. You can try and play some more as black, but ultimately, it's just going to lead to your downfall. We get this push in. We've got a huge center. So many ideas, like f4 is an idea with the rook lift. We can play one rook to the h file, the other to the g file. So many good plans here. And bishop d2 is really good because it stops the pawn from pushing, and we also protect this. So that's also a good double function. That's basically it. Yeah, it's just a very good position here for white, and no counterplay to be seen for black. So
no, it's pretty.
That doesn't happen.
Oh.
That doesn't happen.
Oh.
So don't. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Why did they play so well? So knight e4 here, trying to stop e4. And every move, if you look at, once I explain it, it becomes really obvious that they're playing very logical chess. Like, okay, white wants to play e4, we stop it. Now white wants to keep on playing for e4 because it's basically the only plan we have. Knight d2, trying to remove this knight from the good square. Okay, take, we can play e4 again. Bishop h5, just preventing any sorts of shenanigans. f3, and again we can play e4. Bishop g6, asking if we want to trade bishops. We like our bishop because it controls all the light squares, so we say no. And we get e4, which we wanted in the first place. Queen d7. How to continue from here?
Well, I wouldn't want to take the pawn, but maybe we could. Let's see. Queen. So the bishop is still chilling where it's at. If we move the queen, our light squared bishop is undefended and that pawn is pinned. Maybe rook to the e file? Oh no. Yeah.
I like it, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I like rook over to the e file.
And it's played in the game, and it plays towards what we said a few moments ago, which is maintaining pawn tension. If we take, we trade off these bishops, and our winning chances go down a hell of a lot. We don't really want to push as well, because again, we're just trading bishops, which isn't good for us. So we need to maintain the tension. And funny enough, we play rook e1, and he takes for us, which is great. We love this move.
Yeah, and now we take with the
You
F
love
pawn,
to see it.
right?
Yeah, take the f-pawn, open up this rook, and we've got the rook lifts. We've got both rook lifts. We're spoiled for choice, basically, and just so much play here to be had. Rook fe1, attacking the pawn a second time. We play prophylactically here, and we defend the pawn first, a third time, just so they can't add any more pressure to this, and it's just well defended. b5, trying to play from the counterplay on the queen side, but it's not going to be enough because it's just not quick enough. This pawn blockade is actually really good here, and you'd have to play something like a5 to make this possible, but that's just not realistic in such a short-term and energetic position like this. So how do we continue? We've developed every single piece, but they're not placed at the best square possible, because if we push this, we're losing the bishop. This bishop is stuck behind the wall. So our main goal here is, okay, but all these pieces are good. We can agree on that. These pieces are not. So let's try and make these pieces active. Bishop d1, threatening to go to a better square, which is g4. Rook e7, bishop g4, hitting the queen. Now we've successfully got a good bishop. Queen back. Continue to add pressure on to e4. We stop this by playing e5 now. Now we can play e5 because there's no bishop trade anymore. That's the idea. Okay, a5, that's basically what's left for black. Like, there's nothing else you can play here for black. So you have to go for this queenside counterplay, because white dominates the whole center and the kingside. This is all, like, your territory. You can imagine, like, the guy from Lion King just holding the kid up and like, this is all yours, and all of this is yours. So
It's my
a5, yeah. Rook e3, we're now playing the rook lift. Rook fe1. Sorry, rook d8. Now rook fe1. Look at this move. This move is insane. This is why these guys are top players. Rook e6. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. How can you play rook e6 and just give up a rook? Well, the reason you can do this is because it gets a lot easier the higher level you are, because you understand how the pieces communicate with each other at a deeper level. So what's the most important piece in this position for white? This bishop. Because it's the prerequisite for any big kingside attack. And notice if we don't have this bishop, and they do, all of these pawns are well defended. There's not many attacking possibilities here. So the idea is we're going to eliminate white's strongest piece, which is the bishop, and we're still left with good ideas. So what's left on the board for black is a very good knight, a good bishop, and we have a very bad bishop on b2. Without really having a game plan to go along with this, like, all of our pawns are immobile, we can't push this or this, and there's soon to be a blockade, threatening a fork as well, after knight d5, and also hitting the base of this pawn chain. So really this bishop is prohibited from ever moving. It's just stuck here forever. So this is a very nice sacrifice that was found in the game. So rook e6. We obviously can't take this. a4. But now knight e7. Did black just slip up? Yes, he did. Because now we can take this. And the difference in this position to the other position is we're at least getting something out of this. We're getting a strategic plan that we can implant and play towards, which would be this weak pawn. It's not tremendous. I mean, I maybe wouldn't have taken the rook, but it's at least something you can play for. Will it be enough? We'll find out. So this happens. If you were to play something else, I mean, okay, it's hard to suggest a move actually.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know
it's-
what I would do. I mean, your bishop has a better square potentially in the future now, but like you said, bringing the knight down to a d5 is always a something.
Yeah, it's a problem here. So maybe I would take, thinking a bit more about this. Okay, so take. There's obviously knight d5 incoming. We have to step out of that to not blunder any pieces. If we blunder back the exchange, that's just terrible because, again, what we're left with is bad bishop against good bishop. And that's a super key insight that we're going to talk about a lot more in the future. So, queen f1. If you play queen f2, this is a problem because now knight d5. You have to play like rook f3 here, but then b4. And all of a sudden, what's going to happen is black is attacking this base of the pawn chain, and they're going to get a past c-pawn. And just notice how powerful this bishop is on g6, just controlling the whole light square diagonal, which really limits the amount of squares you can move a piece to, which means you're probably not going to be very successful in stopping the c-pawn from pushing. So that's a very powerful bishop. So queen f1, knight anyways. We go back. A secondary idea is with queen f1, which is different, is now if they play something like bishop here, we at least get the chance to sacrifice back. So rook takes, and we actually gain the pawn here.
Yeah, that looks not as bad as what we were looking at before because your queen is in. They have 2 pawn weaknesses. We still have our strong center.
And again, now the question remains, like, what should white do? So, and the first way you should answer this should always be trying to find black's plans. So what is black's plan here?
Black's plan is to probably put as much pressure on the base of our pawn chain as possible on c3, or to try to take on a4 maybe and try and promote that outside passed pawn.
Perfect. What is white's plan now?
White's plan is to trade off a weakness if you can and take, I don't know, basically try to win their pawns, their weak pawns would be my plan.
We really want to get this whole pawn center rolling, right? We want to be able to play stuff like push, and get our own passed pawn in the center. That would be really ideal.
Yeah.
So that's white's plan.
Okay.
Is there a way for black to stop this and follow through with their own plan?
Bringing a rook to the c file would kind of prohibit us from pushing, maybe.
Well, for now, this pawn is being attacked twice.
Okay.
So it's going to have to do something to do with this pawn.
Okay, so if you push that pawn, so if they played b4 right now, that would be kind of, I guess that, I don't know, we wouldn't take, right? But if they took, I guess they can't take. They would have to put a rook on the file.
So this is played in the game.
Hey.
We have defended our pawn. Nice move. Now the question for white is, can we push? Because again, like I said, our plan is to get these pawns rolling. Can we afford to do it?
Yeah, our bishop and our pawn are blockading them from making any more progress, at least any good progress. I could see us playing c4 here. They can't move their knight anywhere. Well, I guess they could play knight to b6, which would put pressure on that light squared pawn of ours, but I think we could I mean, I can move the queen at that point if we wanted to defend or slide a rook over.
Where would you move the queen?
Queen to b3 is pinning the pawn to the king. And defending.
It is, but at the same time, when they played this move, it has a double purpose. Everything at top level has a double purpose. And the double purpose behind this is now this is a threat. So we've already got one attacker on this, which means if we play c4 now, what's going to happen is knight b6, and this pawn is hit twice.
I got it.
So queen b3 doesn't work,
yeah, no,
unfortunately for us.
I missed the queen, or the queen was hitting it too. Okay.
I missed this as well when I was studying this game. I missed so much stuff when I study these games, and it really takes a long time to understand all of the moves. It's just so incredible. Studying books is the best way to get better at chess, undoubtedly. Like, just do that. If anybody asks me, like, what's the best way to improve at chess, it's always going to be study books. Like, everything is about books. So we can't push, unfortunately, which means we have to take, which means the base of the pawn chain is now here. There's already a rook, there's already a knight blockading, and it's really terrible. So what happens here is we have we have a takes as the main move, mainly because we want to keep this pawn blockaded. This is a very nice blockading piece, and it defends this pawn from here, so it's the most natural plan you can go for. Also, this is hanging, so you have to push this. But let me just go back for a second and show you what happens if you play knight takes. If knight takes, you're not really blockading anymore, so we get some freedom here as white, and we get to play stuff like queen b3, like you wanted, defending the pawn, attacking this pawn, and really your best move here as black is to go back, and nothing gained for black, but you did gain some stuff for white, like queen to b5, let's say. And in this position, if you go queen b5 immediately, what's going to happen is something like take. Sure, they get a pass pawn, but we're going to make a pass pawn of our own, and we've got this pass pawn for them to worry about.
Well, they can fork on the next move, right?
They can fork, but we can unfork with rook e2.
Yeah.
Let's just say rook b8, rook d2, hitting the knight, and ultimately this is going to lead to a draw. So it's not a theoretical draw at this point, but they're really good players, and they know what they're doing, so they didn't want to get into any of this. So they want to avoid as much as they can from these drawing positions. So takes a5, rook a8, rook a1 defending the pawn, queen c6 bringing the queen in now, bishop back, trying to get the bishop to a better square, maybe d2, queen c7 attacking the pawn a second time, forcing the pawn up, and this is really good play here by black. You're forcing the pawn up to a point where you're not going to be able to defend this pawn so well for white. So queen b6, bishop d2, b3, pushing this pawn now. And I'll skip past this as well because we get to this point. Rook b1, the rook's forced off the file. King h8, bishop b1, and both players agree to a draw here. Why a draw, you may ask? It's because they're both going to lose their advantages because this pawn's going to drop, this pawn's also going to drop, which leaves us with a structure which there are many ideas of repetition, for example. And if you play something like rook takes, then check, and we just repeat. If they play queen takes, we're going to trade off the queens, and again, it's this case where we're going to end up in an endgame which is drawish, probably. Like, this knight is a really good defender, but it can't really move away because we're going to push this pawn, and this bishop is really bad because it's stuck behind these pawns, which doesn't make it a good bishop. And all of these pawns can be on light squares. Like, this is inaccessible, this can be inaccessible, for example, so it's not really a very good position for either of them. So this is a draw. But you can see the basic ideas of the position, and it's really thematic. It's a very thematic opening. And it's not anything which is copy-paste in the sense where you're just playing a system like you do in the London, but you copy and paste the middle game strategies, you could say. And that's a big difference. And if you have that, you're going to save a lot of time on the clock. You're going to get really good positions, and you can play a lot more intuitively. It's also a very good idea for Blitz. Okay, next game. D4, we get this basic pawn structure again. Am I going too fast? please let me know in chat if I am. Sometimes I get a bit ahead of myself and I don't include as much information as I should, but okay.
I think you're doing great.
Perfect, thank you. Okay, here's just a little switch up. Knight f3, b6, and black is kind of suspicious, like, why didn't you play e3 here? And black was correct to be suspicious because white's going to try and be sneaky and say, well, I'm not going to get a bad bishop because I'm going to play bishop g5. What happens in this case? What happens if we try to play this capital sin and just play with our bishop out the pawn chain? You do get punished. You do get punished. And this is how you get punished. h6, bishop goes back, maintaining the pin, and g5. Now, not many people are going to play this at lower levels, and not many people are going to play it well at lower levels. So this may be like a sneaky trick for Blitz you can implement. I'm not opposed to this bishop g5 move by any means, and
somebody did this to me in the game.
Yeah, it does come with its drawbacks.
I played bishop to g3, and then he played knight to h5, and then I played bishop to e5.
E5?
Yeah, and then he just played f6.
Yeah, and then your bishop's lost, basically. You're going to have to trade it for the knight. But there is a better move than knight h5, believe it or not. And that move is to play knight e4.
Oh.
And what's really funny is I said at the very beginning of this lesson that knight e4 is a very common move that may come in. And all that black did was basically play the position like you should. Like, he just followed principles. He followed the middle game strategies, he followed the basic setup, and everything worked out for him, as you can see. Because now both are hit. We're even threatening a fork here with knight takes c3, b takes c3, bishop takes c3 check, picking up the rook. So it's really unpleasant here for white, and you're going to have to part ways with the bishop, like it or not. So we have to address this fork. It's not really a big deal that we're losing this bishop on h3. Sorry, g3. So we're addressing this.
Rook c1.
Queen c.
Okay. That's better.
Yeah, the queen is better because maybe the rook would like to go to d1, let's say, and we play for like d5. Because again, they haven't castled yet, so there may be some ideas of like taking, forcing them to take like this, and then we get this check someday, possibly. I mean, this is a very common idea here. So queen c2 is more natural. Bishop b7, just developing. He's not going to cash in just yet. e3, because we need our bishop to get out. d6, bishop d3. And you may be wondering, they played d6, and they're allowing us to play this move. And maybe white should have played this move, but there is a problem with being over-aggressive here, because the pin is always going to be a problem. So queen a4, we're hitting the bishop, knight c6 defends, and if you play too aggressively and you want to push d5, this is a problem because we've moved away from the defense. We played in a bad way after we allowed this, and now we can't afford to play in an aggressive way. That's just how it is. You need to be able to recognize when your position is worse and play accordingly sometimes. If you get too in your head, like, oh, they played a move and they allowed me to do this. If you get too excited, then d5 and you get forked like this, and that's very annoying. Like this would happen, but it's completely fine here for black. Yes, the bishop goes back, but there's this move soon to come, and it's not pretty.
Yeah.
So it was good, probably, that he didn't play queen a4. Now he does take because there's no more tricks that black can play for. So take. Now the knight is hit on the e4.
He's gonna take
so how do you play this for black?
Well, you could take the bishop on g3. He could also just maybe defend the knight by playing e5 and like just push pawns, try to castle queenside.
That's what happens, yeah. f5. And he can do this, he can afford to play like this because there's really no problem with keeping your king exposed like this because, like you said, there is the possibility of castling queenside and he's always going to be safe. And there's not really a great pawn storm that you can play on the king side, sorry, the queen side, because your pawns are split.
Yep.
this is not good. So obviously, this is a very strong attack, and this is extremely courageous. Castles here, just completely unafraid of anything that's going to happen to him. It's really, really fascinating, this game, and it may look like you said, there's just going to be a huge pawn storm, but white has an amazing resource here if they try and overpush this pawn structure. So they may play h5, which is very imprecise. How do we stop this attack?
Let's see. So you can't take the knight with your bishop. That's one, because then he gets his bishop there, and that's you got to move the queen. That would be scary. We can't take on g4 with our knight either, because the queen defends it, and his knight defends it. Could you just play well, no, if you played h4, he takes... Yeah, you could play h4, right? Would that work?
Yep, h4. And this is the perfect move, because if you push, we're just going to get in a very good position. We can play stuff like knight d2, let's say. Let's just say g4, knight d2, and we're eliminating this annoying knight, which is really hindering our attack. And now, again, it's that idea that if this knight moves, we've got stuff like e4, we've got stuff like e5, and a huge attack after bishop to g6. It's really scary now for black, and black's kind of lost his way. If you play, let's say, takes, then again, you've completely stopped any of black's pawn pushes. You can't push this, can't push this, can't push this, can't push this, can't push this. There's nothing you can push, basically, and you've actually helped white by opening up this file. And again, e4 is very prepared. It's over-prepared, actually. There's 3 pieces defending this, and only one defender, which is basic maths. This is a guaranteed e4 push. Even if you push something like e5, this is just completely winning here for white. So you can't do this. Going back to this, so h4, if you play g takes, which looked a bit scary, it's actually not scary, because you get this very nice move, bishop takes h4, and we're hitting the queen. Okay,
and the
queen moves.
Won't be able to castle queenside anymore either.
Exactly, yes, that's a double function as well. The bishop goes to a square where it doesn't just do that, it does this third thing, where we can play knight to g5 if we really want to. I'd be against this, because there would be this g file open up, and this is quite annoying. So I'd probably avoid knight g5 just for now, but maybe in the future it will be possible once we play some more defensive moves around our king. But really we want to break through now. How do we go about this?
Well, I liked, I mean, you know, everything looks good here for our pieces. Their knight is still kind of annoying, and it would be cool to be able to, like, move their knight and play e4 if we could.
Yep.
So, like, knight d2 was something we talked about earlier, but that would... maybe that's not exactly what we want to do here. We might be able to open up... I don't know. If we push d5, I don't think that really... Well, it does open up the king's... Or it opens up their file, not our... It would be semi-open still then. I like trying to trade off the knight and pushing e4 is what I would try and do.
Yeah, that's a very good plan. Now, the funny thing is, if you compare the two moves you suggested, d5 is a lot... The reason d5 is better... Okay. Yeah. When you push d5, you're not just attacking this e6 square, but you're also disconnecting this defense.
Yeah.
And now you can't defend like this, which means you're going to have to move away with the knight, otherwise you're going to lose a pawn after take, and take. And then it gets really ugly, because you can't even take like this anymore. And your king's stuck in the center. Again, queen g6 check ideas incoming. Very nasty position.
Can he not just play e takes d5 here, or is that terrible?
I guess not, because there would be some form of counterplay. Maybe like takes, and maybe you don't even need to punish this immediately. Maybe you can play like knight d4 followed by f3, and then the knight moves and then takes. all our pieces are defending this f5 square, so maybe that's not as good. So he does move back. Sorry, this doesn't happen in the game, but this would be the continuation. So knight c5, we get to play e4, which we wanted, and it's uncontested. Even if it costs losing our bishop, we can part ways because we just get a really good position from this. So it's okay to do this in this case. And this just comes with experience, like knowing when you can trade off for a big attack, and is the attack going to be worth it or not. That just happens through playing many games. And there's a saying in chess which I really enjoy, which is I forgot how it goes, but it's something along the lines of a beginner will play one game and quit, but the master has lost way more games than any beginner has ever played in their lives. Like, if you think about it, nobody's superhuman, so everyone's going to have, like, I don't know, 53 to 56% win rate max if you're really good. So think about how many games a master plays. A master plays, like, I don't know, 20,000 games in their life. Sorry, from the first few years of chess. Like, 20,000 is so many games, which means they probably lost more than 9,000 games. And that's a really big part of chess. It's just unfortunate, but you need to lose to win, and that's how it goes.
Yeah, I've been doing that recently, so.
Yeah. Not as much as you think. So, yeah, what happens is knight d7. That was a huge thing that it went on, a whole tangent of why you can't play h5. But anyways, it doesn't even happen. But you need to consider all possibilities, and it's also very good for learning. And the same ideas apply. Now we still want to get rid of the this knight, and the better way would be to play, like, in this position d5 immediately, doing something like this, and then we get this position again, which is very reminiscent of the other position we got. In this case, we even get to play check, which is nice, and then you have to play king d7, and what's your king doing on d7? Can't even castle. It looks really shaky, and there's a huge attack that's going to go on, like stuff like knight d4, threatening to take. It gets really nasty. So the same ideas apply, which is why he tries to defend this knight. Now if we play something like knight d2, he's going to play knight df6, which is what happens in the game. So knight d2, knight df6. Is this the end of our attack?
Well,
what do you think?
It's a little less pleasant than I would have liked, but I think we can play f3 here. Can we not?
Yep, we can play f3. First of all, he chooses to trade a few pieces, which you don't have to do, but it's just what happens in the game. So take, and then push. Preferably, it would be good to keep as many pieces on the board as possible, but maybe the players were thinking, like, it's the first few rounds of the tournament, I don't want to risk it too much, I'm going to try and get a good position, and if I don't, that's completely okay. There are going to be more rounds, but yeah, ideally you would want to keep more pieces on the board. So f3, take, queen d7, a4, a5. Now it gets a bit shaky to go with e4, and it's not really a huge, how do you say this? Not a huge priority anymore, because we don't have our light square bishop. Anytime we give check, he can defend like this, and it's going to be in an equal endgame, so it's not as strong anymore, which is why white chooses to go for this other plan. It's really interesting, this move, c5. It looks completely impossible because, I mean, there are 2 pawns defending, but take, and now if you play takes, it's a different story. Because yes, you do win a pawn here for black, but notice you've completely compromised the queen side and the king side, which means there's no square or no possible hiding place for your king. If you're playing black, there's just no good places for the king. And now e4 is good, because the 2 rooks will be very active here and here. Lining up this, it's just going to be a huge attack. So you can't do this. He castles and says, if you want to take me, you can take me. First of all, he pins. Queen c6, unpinning, and now we take. And then the game gets really uninteresting from here, unfortunately. It's going to have a huge liquidation of pawns, and white tries his best to expand and get more space and break through. Black's going to do the same thing because now there are less pieces, so it becomes less dangerous for an attack. This whole line happens. We unpin. Yeah, it gets crazy, and then takes huge liquidation. And I'll just skip through this really quickly. So rook here, we've got a whole battery here, and really it's not clear who's attacking who in this game because this king's very unsafe. This king is somewhat protected, and what happens is just rook here, and black can force a draw after rook takes. The reason why this is a draw is because there is takes, and then takes, takes, and then takes, and black is up a pawn, but it's not a very impressive pawn. This is very holdable, very drawable, and both players have agreed to a draw because they've foreseen all of this. And we'll do one final game, and just to make it a bit more pleasing to play this opening and not be discouraged at any for any reason, we'll play the game where white wins. Yes! Finally!
Yay!
It's not all losses today, boys. Okay, so d5, we get this basic structure. And in this game, black chose to play bishop b7 before playing c5, which is okay. It's also a way to play this. The same ideas still apply for white. We're going to play a3. We're going to force this trade. They're going to take. We're going to take. And this is basically the idea that black has set up. They're playing for this trick with this b7 bishop being very good. And they're still going to play c5, nevertheless. So c5 happens. And this is very common. Like I said, this bishop on c4 is undefended. And the top play has shown that the best way to deal with this is just to avoid any loss of tempi, like beforehand, and just move the bishop back, which is what happens. So we play bishop to d3, and the reason why is because this square is definitely the best square for the bishop. The reason being is because there are so many ideas, and I think someone mentioned this in the chat, the idea of the Greek gift. We have these pieces lined up like this, and it makes it very good for an attack if this line ever moves. I mean, I think if you play something like this, you can already play the Greek gift. Let me see.
Yeah, well, the queen covers g5 here, right?
So, yeah, okay, so you'd have to play e4 first, something like e4. Let's just say a really bad move. I don't know, like rook here, and then push. Now you can probably Greek gift on next move. So let's just say here. Take, check, yeah, and you get the idea. This is the Greek gift. So this isn't very uncommon, actually. You can get this a lot in your games. So this is also a very good idea to look out for. So bishop d3, knight bd7, developing, trying to keep the development equal here. Rook e1, again, trying to viabilize e4. So everything's going to be about e4 in these positions. That's something to keep in mind. For white and for black, because now black's best move is to block this up. And again, this is the common idea that we've been seeing in these games, where we're trying to block up everything for the c4 push. So knight e8, bishop b2, because we see that e4 is not going to be that easy, and we don't want to play knight d2 and trade off too many pieces. We want to keep some winning chances alive, so we're playing for the c4 push, and maybe push d5 at some point to get this bishop opened up as well. So, and it's good to mention that even though this knight cuts off this bishop scope, we wouldn't say that the bishop doesn't have a scope, because it can happen that this knight gets kicked around, again, with ideas like knight d2, or maybe some sort of f3 if possible. It's always going to be a possibility, so this bishop is alive, you would say. So this happens, the idea of c4, rook c8, preparing against c4, but c4 anyways. Knight jumps over to block this even further. And now is the question, how do we continue for white?
Well, my immediate thought is to play like knight to d2 and try and trade off the knight and get in f3, but that's just my first thought when I look at this. Another thought is, what if I pushing d5? I don't think that would do me any favors.
Yeah, not now because there's still this defender.
Yeah.
We do cut off this defense, but it's not enough exactly at this point to play that. But we can prepare it with like, I don't know. This is a bit sketchy because we're placing our queen on this file, which isn't really nice. But let's just say, okay, queen b1. We can prepare this idea a bit more, and then it will be good. But right now, there's an immediate move that gains an advantage.
Okay. Let's look for it. An immediate move that gains an advantage. Is it I feel like it might be a queen move. Queen to a4 looks like a cool move. Attacking a pawn. Also just owning that file. I like bring the knight to e5. Does that do anything? Knight e5 threatens f3, or you can threaten f3 on the next move too, and your knight gets to.
That's it, man. You found it. Knight e5 with the idea of pushing f3 in the future. Very good. Yeah.
Pat,
I will. So, and I will just slightly touch on the queen a4 idea you said. Queen a4 does attack a pawn. It does force a weakness. They'd have to play something like a6.
Yeah.
However, it's a weakening move for black, but it's also not a very good move for white because it plays against our ideas. Our ideas is always going to be to play towards the position demands, which is the king side, exactly. So we want to keep our queen available for this diagonal and also queen c2 if necessary. So we like to keep our queen somewhere around these light squares for now. But in the future, it may be the case where we can move it, but just not now. So knight e5, rook c7. Yeah, not the best move. It's really a passive move. It doesn't really accomplish much. Sure, the idea is you want to double up, but is that such a huge threat for white right now? Not really. We can actually play a4 and just dominate the queen side like we've seen. And if these knights have the sole purpose of blocking the center, again, they're going to be kicked around. So they're going to have to move and be rerouted. Then really it's not doing much, right? So, and he sees this, black, which is why he plays knight d6 beforehand, just so he doesn't face f3. So now we don't even need to play f3. Of course, you have to play f3 in your games because people won't play this well.
Yeah.
And you get to kick the knight out and have a good center, stuff like this. But he sees this and just tries to go for a completely different plan all out. So now a5. And funny enough, the main idea in these positions is to play on the king side, but he's just played so much in the center and focused on stopping our e4 that now we actually get play on the queen side, which is funny. Many times you don't get this, but this can always happen. So, like I said, even though you want to play towards the ideas, sometimes they may play in a weird way, which allows us to play ideas which aren't really common in the openings we play. Knight d7, trying to kick the knight out. We don't really care for now because we can take and hit the rook, so he has to take this. And again, playing towards the ideas of the opening, queen h5 and hitting h7.
Yep.
Forcing g6. Now, in this position, there is a major weakness for white. The major weakness here is all of these dark squares. And notice that it's the nature of this position that black will not have a dark square bishop. We do. So this is going to be our MVP. All we have to do is open up this bishop and we win the game. And we can do this relentlessly, like just hammer stuff down the board. So for starters, queen h6, dominating the squares. Take. And it looks like after knight e4 that we've actually locked our bishop in. And we're not going to get any play with this bishop, but that couldn't be further from the truth because now the MVP isn't the light square bishop, but the dark square bishop. So it's not this, it's this. So how do we activate this, you may ask? We actually trade our bishop, which is now the bad bishop. Take, and then we get our rooks to the open file. And our idea here is, yes, they can defend, but look at this move, rook d6. If you ever take, we're threatening mate after e takes.
That's awesome.
That's the basic idea here. And again, it's kind of like we wanted to play on the queen side, but once playing the king side, we had to play on the queen side, and now we're back to play on the king side. It's just left, right, and that's how games go, you know, playing on both sides of the board. So rook d6, you cannot take this. If you do, you're just losing on the spot.
And you can't play f6 either because still you not checkmate on the next move, but we could take, right? Wait.
Yeah, you create a second weakness. So this and then this becomes weak. So now you've pushed 3 pawns in front of your king, and it's just going to be very, very easy to win this game. I mean, even rook here looks superb. Yeah, so here, push, take. We can't do this because of queen takes. But yeah, we can play along these ideas. They can be built up. It doesn't have to be anything immediate because this is a permanent weakness. We're not in a rush because this will never go back. Pawns can never go back, and that's a huge insight. So this happens. Bishop e7, rook a d1. Takes, which is funny. He plays it because he's just forced to play it. Like, what else do you play? You can't move this rook. If you move the queen, you're still losing this rook. I mean, it's basically forced. Take, f6, and this is how you punish this. So, first of all, d7 just gets up all up in their face. Now the queen cannot move. If the queen moves, then it'll be really dangerous because we can promote. And bishop c6, attacking the pawn. We are losing the pawn, but it's not a problem. And the reason it's not a problem is because we have a very strong idea here. Let me show you this line as well. So d7, if they play this, which looks more natural, you're losing because of queen h3 immediately attacking that weak pawn, and there's no way to defend it. Okay, e5, but still I'm getting in and I'm defending this pawn now, and I'm threatening this, so it gets really nasty. This would be nice. h4, which is a slight imprecision. The engine wants something really crazy, which is rook d6, but this isn't findable by humans because we lose the pawn, and guess what the idea is? We sack a pawn, play this.
Oh, wow.
And they're gonna attack our rook, and we're just in time to play this. And their idea is going to be to take on f6 and threaten mate. If rook takes, then bishop takes f6, and it's still mate. So that's a very nice activation of our bishop, which is just all the way back. Anyways, h4 is still a good plan. We're trying to create another weakness. They're forced to take because if they don't, we're going to take, and then it gets really nasty. King here, maybe something like this, and just punish them completely. So he takes e4 now. He finally finds it. e5. Okay, it looks like our bishop has been shut down. How do we reactivate it?
f4.
f4. Let's go f4. He takes. Now we don't even care about this pawn on f4. Yes, we can take it, but there's a nicer move, rook d6. 3 pieces attacking, you can't add another defender. So queen e8, bishop takes, threatening mate. It has to be stopped, so we play this, defend mate. And then the game ends with this really subtle move. Let's see if you can find it.
Okay. I was gonna say queen to g5 check, but maybe that's not subtle enough.
Queen g5, king f8, and it's not really clear how we're mating.
Yeah, you're right. I agree. Queen is doing a good job of not allowing king f8 right now.
And the bishop, yeah. So both these pieces are good placed.
Oh, geez.
So it really leads
maybe,
us to...
Maybe, rook taking the pawn on b6 is pointless, right? Like, I don't see any actual point of that. If you take the bishop, does that do anything?
Not really, I'd say. Maybe it helps them to try and activate this and maybe go for some perpetual somehow. So
So the only thing, I just don't see that they can move very well. So what if we just played... What about e5? Just to...
this is defended twice, though. So there's these two defenders.
I would never be able to do that. Yeah, you're right.
It's a really subtle idea. It's really, really subtle, but you're gonna like this. So this bishop cuts off this, and this queen cuts off this. So basically what this means is there are no legal moves for the king. And you can imply from that that any check incoming being not from these two pieces is going to be mate. Which is nice because it leads you to find the best check with the only piece we have left, which is the rook. And the very cool idea is to go rook d5 and then rook g5 check, and it's mate. So that's exactly what happens. Rook g5 with the idea of... Sorry, rook d6 with the idea of rook g5, and it's mate.
Yeah, I like that.
And
I was thinking that was where I was getting to, was maybe moving the rook, but I hadn't gotten this far, so that actually is pretty, because he can't do anything.
Exactly, yeah. And that's how the game ends, and it's a pretty superb attack. It's very, very beautiful in the sense where we sacrifice pawns to activate our pieces, really demonstrating the power of why you need to play towards a kingside attack in these positions. I mean, yeah, sure, we could grab b6, but it wouldn't be as much as an advantage that we had in this game. So everything will point you towards the center and the kingside in these Nims or Indian positions. And yeah, that's it, man. That's it for today.
Dude, thank you very much. I needed that because I've been getting the Nimzo played against me often. So I remember our studying, and I knew kind of what to do against it, but I've been bringing my bishop out, doing all sorts of bad things that aren't what we just went over. So this is helpful.
Well, good to hear that this is helpful.
Yeah.
That's really all I want. So yeah, have fun with this. Destroy people in the Nimzo Indian. And we'll look at some other opening in the next lesson, or we'll do some training games, something like that. And yeah.
Thank you, Chili, for being on stream today. That was pretty fun. I think everyone enjoyed it. You guys got a free lesson out of it, and you got to see kind of what I go through. Like when I have my lessons with Chili, it's just, you know, we either look at professionally played games or we look at my games and really eat them up. But it's kind of fun to look at these grandmaster games because you can really see the ideas of some deeper ideas than what I get in my games. So
I just looked at chat now and they're saying you missed mate. Where was mate missed?
Oh, I do see that. He said miss mate.
Where was mate missed?
I don't know if I did miss a mate. We might have been talking about one of my bad moves, maybe.
I don't think so, no. This is very forcing here, so I don't think that was a mate missed, actually.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry.
Like, okay, in this position, it's black to play, so that's why rook f7 happens. Maybe it was that.
Yeah, I don't know. They don't worry about chat. They don't always follow along perfectly. So I don't think we missed a mate. I saw him say that, and I was looking. I didn't see anything. So.
Well, hopefully everybody enjoyed. I've enjoyed it. It was a great time. Thanks for having me on stream, and we'll talk next lesson.
Awesome. Hey, I'll shoot you a message here shortly on Discord.
Okay, perfect.
All right.
And just a quick shout out and plug for myself. For anybody's interested in coaching, you know where to find me. thchitty on chess.com. And yeah, I'm taking on new students. That's about it. And yeah, thanks for having me again.
No, always a pleasure, brother. And guys, he's a fantastic teacher. He's always on time to our lessons. He's fun to talk to, you know, and then he's also super smart at chess. So I don't think you can ask for a better teacher. But
anyways, that's it. Thanks, man. Man. Signing off there.
Have a wonderful afternoon.
You too, man. See ya.
Don't. All right. Well, that was pretty fun, right? You guys got a little insight into my my chess lessons. I was totally airheaded today and forgot that I had my chess lesson and played right on through it, which is not what I should be doing. Ooh, look, I got some new friend requests. Nice. Did you guys enjoy that? Did you guys enjoy that? What's up, Gam? How you doing, dude? That's my number one homie right there. Let me take this off. I can breathe. Yeah, I love my chess lessons, man. I learn a lot in those things. They're fun. Really fun. Dude, I'm glad you liked it, General Tony. That's good, man. Dude, I'm telling you, man, chess coaches, I told him no, like at first, or like I was interested, but I'm poor, I don't have a lot of money, and he worked with me. I mean, I do pay him, but he worked with me and kind of understood that I would be a decent student and, you know, come to class and pay attention and stuff, and he's been helpful. I've been learning new openings with him, which I would never have chosen for myself, but he has been pretty insightful into unlocking new things in my chess, which I wasn't doing previously, so. You're gonna play little kids in your tournament? I mean, dude, kids are the future, man. Kids crush at chess. They're so good. I get stomped in a Blitz every single day by freaking kids. Kids are beasts. Shit, my tournaments on the weekends, dude, the guys that win our tournaments are literally children. Like, I'm pretty sure that Alarm is, I think he's 13 or 14. Alarm is one of our tournament champions. He's like a 13, 14-year-old kid. He's a monster. I'd rather not say what I pay per lesson. I just kind of keep that confidential. I don't know what he negotiates between all of his students. Me and him have come to an agreement on what I do pay him, and it's not expensive. So if you're looking at trying to get something affordable, it's very affordable. And I'm poor, so take it from me. I'm very poor. I have no money, but it's very affordable. So if you are interested, reach out to TH Chili. You could also just find another coach. That's up to you. But he is taking students right now. And I don't know if he's always taking students. So if you are interested, it might be a good time to reach out because he might get booked up. I don't know. What's up, Jays? We just had kind of a chess lesson, which was kind of fun. I missed my stupid butt started streaming today and didn't realize that I'm missing my chess lesson. So that was pretty cool. Got to do it live. My coach was down to do it live, and he actually came in here to track me down. So it's like mom calling from Syria. You liked it, man? Thank you, dude. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate you, dude. I love. Yeah, his lessons are advanced. I'm only 1300, so I'm kind of an idiot at chess, but they are really helpful for me. He got really into it today. He went really in depth, probably more in depth than we needed to get, but I think part of it is it's helpful, and I can always come back to these lessons. Like, I have these saved on my lead chess and stuff, so I can always come back, and he's spent a lot of time writing nice comments and stuff in the browser on the side so that I can kind of get back to where we were and know what's going on. And also, I think he understands that some of you guys are higher rated as well, and so going in depth a little bit might be more beneficial for some of you guys that are higher rated. Yeah, that was pretty fun though. I enjoyed that. Our stomach is growling. I'm starving. I need some food in my life. Tonight was a fun stream. You guys might have noticed I've been back to back streaming. I don't know if I'll keep that up forever, but it has been fun doing back to back streams. I am enjoying streaming with you guys. 601 rating, it's fine, dude. I mean, like, I was 500 rating at the beginning of this year. I didn't. He reached out to me around my 1200 mark. Like, I was in the 1200s when I got him as my chess coach, but it's been extremely helpful for me the entire time. I've really enjoyed it. If you guys enjoyed today's stream, please like the stream. If you want to sub, that's up to you. I would love you to sub. That just makes me happy. But please like the stream because it really does help my channel. And if you don't want to sub right now, I will try to convince you in the future to do so with just giving another good stream or showing you some more good content. So if I haven't convinced you to like the stream at this point, I don't have much more I can offer you. So I hope you do like the stream. If you do, please like it. If you're on your phone, you got to double click that or you can either double click, or I think the 3 dots up in the top right corner will give you the like button. But yeah, like my stream, please. I appreciate it. General Tony, my guy, I appreciate the sub, man. Yeah, subs are definitely awesome, but I appreciate whatever form of support y'all can offer. So if I haven't earned the sub for you yet, fair enough. At least try and throw me a like. You've been watching. You probably learned something. You at least got to get kind of a free chess lesson out of it. So that's kind of all I got for you guys today. I will be back probably tomorrow. We'll stream again tomorrow. I wasn't planning on doing it again tomorrow, but we're going to stream again tomorrow. This is fun. We always have fun. Tomorrow we'll play some more. General Tony, my guy. Thank you, dude. Thank you. And thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it. Yeah, sorry I didn't talk much during the lesson. I just that's kind of how they go. I mean, he asks for my feedback sometimes, but I kind of just let him do a lot of the explaining and teaching. So, yeah. Thanks, guys. I appreciate y'all. All love. I will catch y'all tomorrow. Tune in. And, yeah. Check out my channel. I have rapid videos updated every single day. Hopefully you guys enjoy my rapid series. Right now I've been struggling, but we're gonna get back on track. We're around 1,300. We'll get back on that winning streak. All right, guys. That's all I got. Peace.